Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you don't know me, my name is Katie and I make stuff vegan. Okay, so boom. If you don't know, because like, do people really go to KFC? Let me know if you go to KFC. Well, if you're watching the vegan channel. Anyway, have you gone to KFC? I don't know a lot of people who go to KFC, especially like with the popularity of Popeyes, but back in the day or currently, I don't know, they used to have this mashed potato bowl that has mashed potatoes, gravy, corn, cheese, popcorn chicken, and that's it. Like, is there anything more American than that? Like all yellows and browns and oranges. And to be honest, I think I've only had this from actual KFC like one time, but my high school used to make this all the time and it was slap. And I don't know what it was. Maybe we were just like, you don't know no better. And also it was so filling. It used to just be so good. And I was just thinking about it randomly one day and I was like, I can make that vegan. And I'm so happy I did. Like, it brought back all these memories. Like, we really used to be eating this, like, you know what I'm saying, in the green cafeteria, like, memories. If you want to see how I made the KFC mashed potato bowl vegan, keep watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe before we get started. Also, don't forget that the link to the detailed recipe will be in the description box below. Okay, let's get to it. Okay, so I'm starting off with some tofu that I froze and then defrosted. And I think I froze and defrosted this again. That's not necessary to do that multiple times, but you do want, like, I'm gonna show you the texture. You see how like dry it looks on the inside? That comes from freezing it. So I absolutely recommend freezing your tofu and then thawing it out. Tofu could do a lot of things, okay? And I feel like people like just get in their minds that they don't like tofu, and then it just be like, no more conversation, that's it, don't talk to me. And it's like, if you don't like tofu, it's probably because the way you had it wasn't prepared to be good. You know what I'm saying? Like, tofu does a lot and whatever, and that's how I'm gonna fake this chicken. If this looks familiar to you, it's because I followed a similar method in my Korean barbecue tacos. So take a look, and those slap. Take a look at those, okay? I'm seasoning with a bunch of stuff, notably the Trader Joe's chickenless seasoning. This is completely optional, but if you have a Trader Joe's by you, do what you gotta do, okay? Whole bunch of stuff, smoked paprika, pepper, garlic powder, all that stuff, and then easy on the seasoned salt because we don't want to be embarrassed, okay? Because ain't nothing worse than like working and toiling hard on your food for that junk to be salty. Like, bro. Okay, so I'm making a batter now. Normally I would use my tempura batter, but like I could only find that in Rochester. I haven't seen that here, okay, in Memphis. So we gonna make it do what it does. I'm gonna take all-purpose flour and also took some cornstarch. And then I'm using the same exact seasonings that I use on the tofu, except I'm taking out the chickenless seasoning, and you're gonna see why in a second. Okay, but everything else is Ezekiel the same. And you wanna be liberal because this is literally flour. And also, to go back, it's also literally tofu. So if it looks like a lot of seasoning, it low-key is, because have you tasted raw tofu? I mean, you know what I'm saying. I'm gonna eat tofu out the pack. But have you tasted that junk? It's borderline bland. Like, on a scale of 1 to 10, it's like a 2, okay? So now I'm gonna make a batter. I'm adding water, and I'm really going for a consistency probably a little thinner than pancake batter. Remember, all of the measurements, all of the exact seasonings, because I forgot to put oregano on the tofu. All that is in the description box on the link, okay? I'm taking the Better Than bouillon. This is like one of my favorite little tricks as a vegan. You can make anything taste like anything, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I'm taking about 2 tablespoons of this, maybe a little less than that, but this stuff is very strong, right? Because it's a concentrate, but in this batter, it's gonna do what it needs to do, okay? And I'm taking a little bit of Frank's Red Hot, just for some pizzazz, just for some little razzle dazzle, okay? And I'm mixing that up. Just like that. Okay, so I made some mashed potatoes. I started to film it, and then I was like, for what? They're literally just plain mashed potatoes. If you want a garlic mashed potato recipe, you can check out my meatloaf recipe. I made a garlic mash there. Okay, so it is time to fry everybody, okay? This is not your healthiest recipe, okay? So you either make it on a cheat day, you eat it anyway because we're literally in a panty, or you can coat it in breadcrumbs and put it in the air fryer oven, okay? Your choice. Okay, I'm using a slotted spoon because I'm going to, after I mix it up, when I put it in the oil, I'm going to let the batter fall between the little slots. And I'm putting, at first I was gonna try to be good and just like put like a little bit in at a time. And then I was like, I was in a rush. I was trying to get, I had a rehearsal right after this. So I was like, you know what, we're gonna put them all in. But as I'm putting it in, the batter made the pieces stick together. So you see me like separating them out, and tofu's forgiving. Okay, so you ain't gotta worry about, you know, dropping the temperature of the oil and all the stuff Bobby Flay told you, girl. It's tofu. Okay, also, if you have your reservations, if you're scared to fry, understandable, but especially since tofu is so wet. But remember, I froze the tofu and I rained that junk out like a sponge. Okay, I didn't do it like that, but I squeezed it because it's so forgiving. It's so much more dense after you freeze it. And then after I did that, like, it's so dry, you ain't gotta worry about it. And look how beautiful it turned out, period. Okay, time to make the gravy. You know, I was raised in a Jamaican household. We don't really do gravy like this. So I was just counting my lucky stars. I was like, I gotta be back to orchestra at 7:30. This better work. And it did. So what I did was I took a little bit of the oil from the little chicken pot, right? I did that with the butter, okay? Made my little roux. There we go. There she go. Made my little roux, stirred that joint around. I waited for it to get this color because I don't want it to taste like flour because that's giving very much disgusting, okay? Added some water, kept on stirring. I never stopped stirring. You see my flick of the wrist? Hey, look at the flick of the wrist. Never stopped that, okay? I kept going, okay? And then this is where I kind of fumbled the bag just a little bit. I added way too much of this Beyond Bouillon because if you know me, I don't like leftovers, so I wasn't gonna make a whole bunch of gravy, like for whom, for when, for whence, for why. So I added too much of it, and I had to like keep playing with it to get the salt balance, you know, properly in order. I accounted for that in the recipe. Okay, so take a look at the recipe. But after I added that bouillon, it's gonna add for my chicken stock. It was bussin'. Like, I don't know what to say. It was bussin'. I also added thyme and black pepper. That's the consistency you're going for. I was so proud of myself. You had no idea. Okay, time to build this. Let's go. Let's build this junk. Okay, so I'm putting my mashed potatoes in a little, and I put it in this big bowl for photo purposes. But you could just use, it would be better like a bigger bowl so you could mix it all together. Anyway, mashed potatoes, gravy. I only put a little bit because, you know, it was a little trifling to get that. You know, we have butter and oil. So I'm gonna put a little bit, okay? I have some sweet corn. I just heat it up in the microwave, okay? No big deal. And then let's hit it with the Violife. This is one of my favorite mozzarella, like my favorite, you hear me? My favorite vegan cheddars, okay? Look how beautiful that tofu is. Who did that? I did that. You can do it too, don't worry. You can do it too. Like, that joint is crispy, you hear me? Okay, and there it is, there she goes. Y'all, now, would I make this every Tuesday? No. Would I make it every second Tuesday? Also no. But it was so fun to recreate. I had such a good time doing it, and it was so good. Especially, I don't mind my foods mixing, so I'll mix that junk up like that. Yo, it was so good. I really hope you try it. If this looks weird to you, I promise I didn't make it up. Look it up. It's a thing, the KFC mashed potato bowl. Okay, girl? Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget the link to the detailed recipes in the description box below. Don't forget to check out my other videos while you're here. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, y'all.